Thank you, Jason, by the way. I left something out of a video that I did earlier this morning about Jason giving me the rocks and the shells, volcanic stuff that are on this island, and they got moved and they ended up in this house. So he put them in a box because he took me down to Hilo to a beach point along the bayfront. I can't remember the name because it's so long. One, it starts with one, O-N-E, Onika, and it goes on and on and on, B1. And so he asked me if I would return those items back to the beach. Absolutely. And that's when him and I shared with him about ley and how things that are taken from where they once were held in memory, how they end up coming back to their native rock, their native home, where they were born, the place that stars are born, out of the first inner core. I'm always at home. And so I was going to share this because I don't know if this particular subscriber, but it was related to that prescriber that had picked up those shells and items that I guess at a beach, wherever he got them from, and then was putting them on camera. And that's what sort of compelled me to do the videos that I did this morning. But I returned that stuff down there to Hilo. And while I was there, and we call about setting the intention on what we're going to use our energy for, our radio bands, the bandwidth, the height and width, or the vertical and horizontal lines, experiencing perfect balance, perfect atmospheric balance. And then we're running variable settings, right, which is frequency modulation. So I can set the intention of the frequencies, which are healing frequencies. And so I went into the water and walked around this large tide pool that when the tide comes in, normally, when I've been there before, is deep enough, around maybe 9-10 feet to swim in for children and families, right? So the tide was really down low. It was only a few feet. So I walked in there, communicated directly with the sun, and then used both my hands to set the intention of the variable speed settings of the radio bands, the frequencies, to bring healing intention, those frequencies, into that water, into that pool. So now those frequencies are running in that tide pool. And what that will do is that other children and other beings that come walking into that water will pick those frequencies up with their antenna. And now they're going to experience the setting, which is the variable speed setting that is in that water that those children or adults will experience when they go in that water. Yep. So their DH receptors will be able to pull, to experience, because now their antenna is going to experience the change in the frequencies that they're now going to experience because I changed the frequencies that were running in the water before I walked in there, right? So now they're healing waters of Earth Sala, the inner core, working with the inner core and the sun, particularly when you're running a pink rose, a blue lotus breath, the Alquiel codes, and the full Hova body. It's fully activated, fully integrated, setting the intention of the healing waters of Earth Sala. So that's what I did yesterday, and so that's why when I got back, you know how it is when you're yawning a lot, and then I just fell asleep and woke up a few hours later. What a powerful day. It always comes back full circuit to you, right? The I am. So I wanted to share that with you all because it was a beautiful, it lifts your spirit when you sent those kinds of intention, which means you're actually the inner breathing, the inner cells, your inner you, your inner solar Rishi is experiencing the intention of what you chose to do. Now you're experiencing what that intention is within you, so that all your cells are experiencing the intention of what we do with frequency modulation. Run on a radio set, the radio bands, the bandwidth, the height and width of the wave. Yep, the frequency. We don't run 10 code. Nah. That's not law. We know what the law is. The first